Welcome back to Hunter's Hub. I'm Hunter. Today I'm going to be asking Ori some questions about his DeLorean. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks for doing this, dude. Thanks for coming over. I love talking about my car, and I don't get that opportunity a whole lot. So, like you said, my name's Ori. Uh, Ever since I was a little kid, how old are you?
I'm 9.
You're 9. Okay, about the age of 12 is when I started to really kind of get into cars. You've gotten started a lot earlier than me, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I fell in love with this car, and I'm 46 years old now. It took a long time to finally be able to get the money to buy one, and I thought it was going to be a quick easy project, but here I am about 5 years into it now, and we're close, but still got a ways to go. But yeah, that's me. I love cars. I've loved cars since I was just a little bit older than you.
Okay, thank you. So, would you like to answer a couple of questions
Yeah,
first?
absolutely. Yeah, lay it on me. What do you
Okay,
got for
so
me?
question 1 is what made you pick this car?
What made me pick this car? Oh man, when I was young, I saw this movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's Back to the Future, and I was just so fascinated by the car and all the cool stuff it did. But I thought the car was just a movie car, like it was a car made
Mm-hmm.
just for the movies, kind of like the Batmobile or some of these other
Mm-hmm.
cars. They're
Yeah.
not just daily drivers. And I was with my uncle, and we were talking about cars, and he said, "You know what kind of car you should have when you get older is a Porsche. They're the best cars." He's like, "What kind of car would you want if you could have any car?" And I said, "If I could have any car, I'd have a Back to the Future car." And he laughed. And he's like, "Why would you want one of those? Those aren't as cool as Porsches." And I go, "That was a real car?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're real cars. They're out of business." And that was about the age, probably 11 or 12. And that all I remember from that conversation was, holy crap, that's a real car. I'm going to have one of those one day. But
Mm-hmm.
originally, how I saw it was just from the movie Back to the Future, kind of like a lot of people my age found out about the car.
Okay, and what's your favorite thing about this car?
My favorite thing about this car, um, it's just so different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something that I was always drawn to with the car was just how interesting of a car it was to me. You couldn't find a lot of information about it. You couldn't just like, this was all pre-internet, right? So I couldn't do any Google searches, or I couldn't look on a computer. I remember going to the library trying to find stuff about it, could never find anything. But to me, it was just so unique and different. It didn't look like any other car that was out on the road. So that's what always kind of gave me this, like, I want to know more about that car,
Mm-hmm.
just being different.
And what's one thing people always notice about it?
One thing that people always notice about is usually the body panels. It looks like a giant refrigerator with wheels, right? All that stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I think instantly stands out. Like if you were to see one drive by or see one in person, you'd be like, "What?" I'd probably say the body, the stainless steel, is definitely what makes it stand out.
And where did you get the car?
Where did I get this? There's a place called Gig Harbor, Washington, clear up north of us. It's a little island actually, and I, me and a buddy, once I knew I was going up to look at it, I was pretty sure I was going to buy it. But we drove up there. I think it was like, I want to say about 14-hour drive. And then we stayed in a hotel. And the next day we met the guy, and I ended up purchasing the car and then driving all the way back here. So it was a long 36 hours. But yeah, Gig Harbor, Washington, on this little island is where I bought it. That's where I found this one.
And what's one thing you'll never change on it?
One thing I'll never change is probably the outside appearance. I would like to keep that looking mostly original. They had a couple cool options that you could do, like some pinstriping down here and whatnot. But one thing I'll probably never change is just the outside appearance. You'll see some of these, they've been painted or they've done wraps on them and some other neat, cool things. But for me, I'll probably leave the outside appearance, other than tinting the windows,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably leave it looking just like it did originally.
And what's one thing this car does better than you would think?
Um, One thing that it does better than I would think. Well, I haven't got to drive it yet, so I really can't tell you about the drivability of it. But one thing that I would think it does good, I don't know, it's really good at attracting attention.
Mm-hmm.
On the drive home, I had it on a trailer, and it was an open trailer. And between Gig Harbor, Washington, and getting back here to Utah, there was like 30 plus times that people either honked, waved, pointed at it. When I'd go to fill up my truck that I was towing it home with gas, someone would, every time, two or three people would stop, like, whoa, I've never seen one of those. Can I look at it? And so I think one thing it probably does really good, I haven't drove it yet, but it at least looks good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what I would say, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's one detail that makes it stand out?
One detail that makes it stand out, I think, is probably from the movie. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
who sees it associates it with the movie, and they always like, where's the flux capacitor, or how fast is it? That's probably something that stands out, is mostly because it was used in a movie, so that's how people know about it. It actually has a really, really cool history and a very interesting story of how this car even came about. Um, but we can talk about that later.
And what's what's one thing you want everyone to know about it?
One thing I want everybody to know about it is I would probably say that at one time this car was hand built by a small group of people, hand built like everything, and that it got hand built again by me and some good friends. So it's been hand built at least twice. That's what I want everybody to know about it.
What's one thing you didn't know once you bought it?
Um, One thing, well, there's a couple things. One, how much tremendous amount of work I was about to put in.
Mm-hmm.
I way overestimated my skills and my time frame. Like I said, I'm 5 years into this. I thought I'd be done with it in like 6 months. But one thing that was really cool was how the horn works. Um, a lot of people don't know this. Traditionally, where is the horn at on a car?
On the steering wheel.
On the steering wheel, right? It's either got a button or you push on it or whatnot. Well, you'll see in this car that's not where it is. It's actually down by where your turn signal is. There's a little button on the end, and you push that in, and that's what honks the horn on this car. That was one interesting thing, that out of all the books I'd read about it and all the things I thought I knew about it, I was surprised to find that go, huh, okay, that's totally different than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah. And what's your favorite thing you've done to this car?
My favorite thing I've done to this car, well, right now is just purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't got to enjoy it too much yet. It's been a lot of stress, a lot of learning, and a lot of work. But one thing I'm hoping that it turns out to be my favorite thing about this car is the motor swap I did in it. These weren't really known for fantastic reliability, and so I was hoping to improve that. And so me and my friends and family, we're putting an LS Chevy style motor in it, and I'm hoping that turns out to be my favorite part of this whole thing.
Okay. And what's one thing people assume about this car that is wrong?
One thing that they assume about this car that is wrong, that it has a flux capacitor.
Yeah.
That's probably the one comment that every single person I've ever talked to about it is, "Hey, show me. Does it have that really? Or show me where your flux capacitor is." And it's like, it doesn't have that
Oh.
yet. I'm sure I'll put it in at some point
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
appease the masses, if you will.
Why is the frame an X?
Why is the frame designed like that? That's a really good question. They got the design from Lotus, but it allowed for a really strong setup. But it also made it like unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different. Since the body's over here and the frame's over here, not most cars are built like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this body actually bolts down on top of this. There's about 12 bolts, believe it or not, that keep this thing all together. So as it comes up here to the front, you can see it kind of like you're saying, it kind of X's out.
Mm-hmm.
This gas tank comes up from underneath. I just have it sitting here for now. But it has like a manual steering rack, so there's no power steering, nothing like that. But from what I've seen on YouTube and from other guys that have drove them, they said it drives great and you don't even need power steering for this. But I did have to get some new cool custom stuff set up on this. I had, if you look down here, I had these lower control arms made. So the original stock ones weren't super strong. So anywhere I could improve this or make it maybe a little user friendly down the road when I have to do maintenance, I've been trying to take those steps. So I got those reinforced, got some aftermarket suspension, and then I've reused a lot of the original stuff that I could. But like the steering rack, that's all brand new. It's like 0 mileage. I was able to get that out of Texas through DeLorean Motor Company. They're still around, believe it or not. But still got a ways to go.
Yep. And what transmission is this?
What transmission is this? That's a good question. So it's the original transmission. They used the UN1 transmission, and obviously it was meant to bolt to something else. So I got a custom plate made. You can see kind of down here that bright aluminum. This adapter plate allowed me to bolt the transmission to it. But to make that work, the friend of mine that I was mentioning, he had to make a custom like one of flywheel. And then we have a pressure plate from a 370Z. And then I'm actually using the stock DeLorean clutch disc. So it's a manual transmission and it's a 5-speed. And I'm hoping that I treat it right and it lasts and everything goes good. So we'll find that out shortly. But yeah, since it's a rear engine car, you can see that the axles and stuff, I haven't put them in yet, but they'll bolt up right here and then they'll go back to those rear wheels. So you can see I still got quite a bit of work, but making progress. Did a Carfax on it or whatnot, and the mileage actually matches. So a lot of these, sometimes if they had speedometer problems or other issues, the mileage didn't match, but this one actually matches between the title, the documented mileage on it, the Carfax, everything. So about that horn part.
Yep.
So right down here, if you were to push in on this, see how that presses in? You can try it. That's actually what turns the horn on and off.
Wow. And yeah, so you just want to tell us some things about.
Yeah, sure. This is an early 80s car, right? So power windows were kind of a big deal. It did come with power windows. Here's the switches for them. The switches are in the center console to roll them up and down. They're pretty simple. You see that tape deck player in there? Push on the screen on that. Did it fold up?
Yeah.
Well, that's how you put the old cassette tapes in there. It's kind of unique and interesting compared to most older stereos. But yeah, very, very simple. It was meant to be a sports car that was going to compete against, you know, the Porsches and the Corvettes and all that other stuff. And I think if the company was able to stay in business longer than it did, I think it would have been super competitive and probably even better than most. But for the time frame, it was a pretty rad car. Definitely unique. You know, everybody comments about the doors, how unique those are. No really other cars in the 80s did that. You know, Mercedes kind of had the same setup, but other than that, I think Bricklin and Mercedes and DeLorean were the only ones that did that.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And we got a lot more people to ask questions too. So yeah.